What does that mean, the year of Koach? What is the consciousness of Koach? One of the most powerful meditation that we have that contains 7 sentences, and each sentence has 6 words, comes to 42, and it's famous to be Membet Shemot, which is the 42 names of God. The consciousness of Koach is the consciousness of the DNA force of creation. It's the stem cell, as you could put it, of a creation of life, the creation of your life. This is the year that you could have control over your destiny. This is the year that you could go to the seed level of your creation and change your destiny, create your destiny. As you notice, even in science, in medical terms, what we're doing today in surgeries, in healings, is beyond what we did 30, 40 years ago. We now go back to the stem cell. We go back to the DNA and fix everything at stem cell. And the year of 5777 is the year of changing the DNA. We can fix things at the seed level. How do we do that? By using the tools to go back to the seed level, and that is using the Hebrew alphabet. Hebrew alphabet is not just a language. It's not just a letters that you do pray with. 22 Hebrew letters are the 22 amino acids of creation, the 22 DNA force of the creation. So I highly recommend this year, more than any other year, dwell more and more and more into the Hebrew alphabet. Look at them. Listen to the sound. Listen to the shape. Get close to it. Open your consciousness to the sound, to the shape, to the consciousness, to the energy that emanates from these Hebrew letters. Only way to change your destiny, to have control over your life, is by connecting to the Hebrew alphabet. There is no other way. You shape your life with the Hebrew alphabet. When you meditate on the 72 names of the 42 names, you meditate on everything that we read. As today Rabbi Mordechai is going to recite this section of the Torah that is designated for this Shabbat to be read all over the world. It's for these Hebrew names, Hebrew alphabet, to emanate, to manifest their essence, their energy, so we could have a life with control, with certainty. And the only way you could do that is by having certainty. The shadow of the Sukkah is the shadow of certainty. We receive so much when we sit in the Sukkah. We receive power, we receive energy, we receive the Or Hasidim, which is the light of mercy. But more than anything else, during the 7 days of the Sukkah, you receive the 7 layer of certainty, the shadow of certainty. And it's only by certainty that you could create miracle in your life. Only by certainty. Anna bekoach, gedulat yeminecha, tatir serura, qabel rinat, amecha sagvenu, taharenu nora, na gibor, dorshe yechudecha, kevavat shomrem, barechem taharem, רחמי צדקתך תמיד גומלם חסין קדוש ברוב טובך נאהל עדתך יחיד גאה לעמך פנה זוכרי קדושתך שבתנו קבל ושמע סגתנו יודע התעלומות. We silently say Baruch Shem Kevod. شبات شلوم. من هر شباتی که جوانها رو میبینم اکسایتد میشم و از همه بزرگان میلا میخوام که صحبت امروز به انگلیسی باشه که جوانها بتونن بیشتر استفاده کنن. منو میلا کنید. This Shabbat is quite a special Shabbat. It's the Shabbat of the Sukkot. And the power that we receive this Shabbat, as I explained, is the power of certainty. It's the power of certainty. And I have two stories to tell, and that's all. Two small stories, and that's all I'm going to talk about this morning. Two stories that goes back to the time of Baal Shem Tov. We know that Baal Shem Tov, the founder of Chabad today, the founder of Hasidim, was a Kabbalist. He was a Kabbalist, and he started teaching all the secrets of Kabbalah about 300 years ago in Eastern Europe. But we know for whatever reason, there were some people who were against him teaching Kabbalah. So there are two stories that has to do with the power of Sukkot. So in one of the villages in Ukraine, about 270 years ago, this huge rabbi built his own sukkah. And in Ukraine, usually the winter comes early. So on the first night of the sukkah, he's all excited. He invites everybody comes to his sukkah, but it starts raining. It starts raining. So he waits and waits and waits. Maybe the rain stops, because we know if the rain falls on the sukkah is not functional. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. So the man is sitting and hoping that the rain would stop so he can do his kiddush and breaking the bread and eat, but the rain keeps falling. So one of his students comes and says, the sukkah at Baal Shem Tov's house is functioning. There is no rain over his house. And he says, how could it be? There is raining. The city is raining. He says, no. In the house of Baal Shem Tov, where he has built his own sukkah, there is no rain. So he takes his wine, he takes his bread, and he asks everybody to go with him to the sukkah of Baal Shem Tov. And he gets to the sukkah of Baal Shem Tov, and he says, there is no rain here. You have the sun is opening up, and your sukkah is functioning. And Baal Shem Tov says, I've taught you all the secret of Kabbalah so you could have a kosher sukkah. And the man gets angry and he says, I don't believe in magic, and he leaves. The second story. We know that we have lulav and yitrok. Yitrok is the fruit. Is the fruit that we put with the lulav and we shake in sukkah. And the yitrok is considered to be kosher if it has that little stem on top of it. If the stem falls, that means the yitrok is not functional. It's not kosher anymore. So one year, it was so cold in Ukraine that they could find only one yitrok for the whole village to do the shaking. So they bring the yitrok to Baal Shem Tov, and everybody is supposed to come to the sukkah of Baal Shem Tov to shake the lulav and yitrok. Baal Shem Tov has a servant, small, simple guy. And Baal Shem Tov announced the day before that because there is only one lulav and one yitrok, everybody is going to come to his house, to his sukkah, to do the shaking. And they do the order of shaking from the highest rank of spirituality. There were so many rabbis and so many elevated people, and they would all come and they would do the shaking. So this simple servant of Baal Shem Tov thinks there are so many people who are going to come and do the shaking. By the time that all these people are going to do the shaking, The day is going to be over. I'm not going to have time to do my shaking. It's going to be over. What am I going to do? He wants to do the shaking himself too. So he thinks and thinks and thinks, and he goes, I have an idea. Well, Baal Shem Tov goes to the mikveh in the morning. When he's in the mikveh, and Baal Shem Tov, just like Rabbi Berg, just like Ari HaKadosh, when they would go into the mikveh, they would meditate for a long period of times. It wasn't just 10 times immersing in the water and come out. No, they did a lot of meditation, a lot of concentration on the Hebrew letters, on the Hebrew alphabets. So he goes, when my master goes to the mikveh, and he meditates and meditates, I have time to take the lulav and yitrok, go to the sukkah, and do my shaking because I'm not going to have time. So he gets all excited. Baal Shem Tov goes to the mikveh, and he goes and takes the box of the yitrok out, and he's so scared, and he's so excited, he takes the yitrok, and he picks it up, and it falls out of his hands, and the little stem is breaking. So the yitrok is no kosher. So what is he going to do? He is dying. He is falling into himself. So Baal Shem Tov comes out of the mikveh. And he tells them the whole story. That I wanted to shake the lulav and yitrok too. I wanted to do it, and I thought I'm not going to have time to do it. So while you were in the mikveh, I took the yitrok, but I was so nervous, the yitrok fell out of my hand and broke the stem, and this yitrok is not kosher. And he thinks that Baal Shem Tov is simply going to kill him. And Baal Shem Tov sits, and he meditates, and he meditates. Then he looks up the sky, and he says, God, look what a servant you have. How much he loves to shake the lulav and yitrok. How much he desires to shake the lulav and yitrok. How much he wants to do this amazing positive energy. But because he was so excited, the yitrok broke. Look what kind of the servant you have, God. Look how blissful this town is. Shabbat Shalom.